Hey, fourth grade, it's Miss Buck again. I'm so glad to be doing another read aloud with you guys. I hope you guys are staying safe and educated because that is the number one goal. Today, Miss Buck will be reading a book called The Promise. I'm already thinking about being a good reader and I'm already doing a text preview, and there's a lot of pages that have pictures. So there are a lot of illustrations in this book, but my mind is also going straight to like what can be this promise, like what character is going to make a promise. And then obviously as a good reader, I always read the back. But I'm not going to ruin it for you. I'm going to get straight there. All right, let's get started. Remember, as good readers, we're always thinking about the character and the character's actions, thoughts, and feelings as they go along, and obviously thinking about a problem and solution if it's fiction. Okay. When I was young, I lived in a city that was mean, hard, and ugly. Its streets were dry as dust, cracked as by heat and cold, and never blessed with rain. A gritty yellow wind blew consistently, scratching around the buildings like a hungry dog. So right now I'm noticing that she's really describing her setting. How do you think her setting is going to affect her in this book? Hmm. Nothing grew. Everything was broken. No one ever smiled. Wow. Again, she's going in depth about her setting, and that's going to definitely impact her as a character. The people had grown as mean, hard, and ugly as their city. And I was mean, hard, and ugly too. I lived by stealing from those who had almost as little as I did. My heart was as shriveled as the dead trees in the park. So let's stop right there and think about this character. What kind of character is she already? What have we learned only in these 3 pages about this character? Because maybe, just maybe, we're going to be learning about character change. I'm thinking we're going to be thinking about the characters changing. So, what kind of character is she already? What have we learned? Let's keep going. And then one night, I saw an old lady down a dark street. She was frail, alone, and an easy victim. Her bag was fat and full, but when I tried to snatch it from her, she held on with the strength of a hero. To and fro, we pulled the bag until at last she said, "If you promise to plant them, I'll let this bag go." What did she mean? Did I even know or care? I just wanted the bag. So I said, "All right, I promise." She loosened her grip at once and smiled at me. Hmm. Now I'm really thinking to myself, what could this promise be? I think this character is in for a rude awakening. I ran off without a backward look, thinking of the food and the money that may be in her bag. But when I opened it, the bag held only acorns. I stared at them, so green, so perfect, and so many. And I understood the promise I had made. I held a forest in my arms, and my heart was changed. Hmm. I want to stop right there really quick. The character says her heart was changed. I'm thinking that's a little bit of a figurative language. How do you think her heart has changed? Let's stop right there. How do you think the character's heart was changed? All right, let's keep going. I forgot the food and money. And for the first time in my life, I felt lucky, rich beyond my wildest dreams. I slept with the acorns as my pillow, my head full of leafy visions. And in the morning, I began to keep my promise. I planted beside roads and beside the other garbage that was in my city. Among rubble, ruins, and rusty railings by train tracks, tram lines, and even traffic lights. So she was going all over and planting throughout her city. Let's pause right there. So Ms. Buck asked you a question in the beginning, and it was like, what kind of character is she? What did we learn in the first couple pages that we read? Now, my question is a little bit different. We still want to know what kind of character that she is, but how is she starting to change throughout the story? Let's continue reading. She even planted in abandoned parks and gardens laced with broken glass behind factories and shopping malls, at bus stops, cafes, and apartment buildings. I pushed aside the mean and hard and the ugly, and I planted and planted and planted. Nothing changed at first. The gritty wind still scratched the patched, cracked streets. The people scowled and scuttled to their homes like cockroaches. But slowly, slowly, very slowly, shoots of green began to show. See that green, fourth grade? Looks like stuff is coming up. See, let's see how the city is going to change. Trees, first here and there, then everywhere. People came to the streets to see. They touched the leaves in wonder and they smiled. They had tea together by the tiny trees. They talked, they laughed. And pretty soon they were planting too, trees and flowers and fruits and vegetables in the parks and the gardens, on their balconies and even their rooftops. Green spread through the city like a song, breathing to the sky, drawing down the rain like a blessing. But by then, I was already far away, planting in another sad, sorry city. Let's stop really quick. So, before the main character goes to another city, how did her city start changing, and how did the character impact the people in her city? I'll ask one more time. How did the character change the city, and how were the people affected by the character? All right, let's keep going. Okay, so remember, she went to another sorry city to plant. Ooh, and another. So now I think this is her third city she's planting in. Let's see what happens. And another. Say whoa. Fourth city. I'm thinking about this character trait right now. I hope you are too. And another. Fifth city. Whoa. And last night in a lonely alley, a young thief fought me for my sack of acorns. I smiled and made the old bargain, knowing how a heart can change, knowing that my planting will go on. The end. So, fourth grade, I hope you like that book. It was called The Promise. I want us to reflect back on everything that we have heard. And I want to think to ourselves again, how did the character change throughout this book? I want to know a character trait from the beginning and then a character trait for her at the end. How did she change in this book? Then the second thing I want you guys to write down is, what do you think the message of this book is? If I had to write down a lesson learned or a theme, what would that be? Again, Miss Buck is going to challenge you. I'm looking for 2 responses to be sent to one of your teachers. I'm going to repeat it. First question: how did the character change from the beginning, middle, and end of the book? And what was the lesson learned in this book? What was the theme of this book? Write down your answers, send them to your teachers, and guess what? The teachers don't know yet, but they have to post your responses in Class Dojo. I hope you get shouted out. All right, 4th grade, that's it for me. Enjoy your weekend and everyone stay safe. I'll see you guys next week for more read alouds. Love you.